Welcome, welcome. It is great to see you all here. Welcome to the Claims of Truth Healing Circle. Ashley and Jill are here. It is great to see you guys. Wow, what a 2 weeks it has been, right? Been totally crazy. I believe you all have access to opening up your mics. If you would like, you can certainly do that. But you're also welcome to just, text as normal. It is great to see you all, and definitely to be here. Let's go ahead and cast a circle of light, specifying that only Source Creator God, my healing team, and the support teams as needed are present for tonight's Claims of Truth Healing Circle, where we are going to be doing the Claim of Truth from the Book of Innocence. Ta-da! The Book of Innocence, on page 123, it is, "The rules are changed. 2 and 2 equals a million." So how awesome is that we are going to do that claim of truth, that we are going to look at when does 2 and 2 equal a million? So may it be with the blessing of Source that we have fun tonight, that we remember who we are, what we are, and how we serve in truth. And we just keep lifting it all up for ourselves, for others, and for the field. With that, we say amen and aho. So give me just 1 second here. Let's see. I'll take care of this. There we go. So we have this claim of truth that shows up in the Book of Innocence, and the Book of Innocence is actually the most recent book that Paul Selig put out. It's his 11th book, and it is book 2, so we know there's going to be a book 3 that is coming out. And this one is just really interesting to me. There's a lot of opportunities for me for healings on it, because there are times when I read it and I go, another round of what? And oh my goodness, what exactly are they saying? So I am really excited about doing a claim of truth from the Book of Innocence, and also doing a whole little okay, where exactly are we going? So the very first thing is that one, everybody gets a gift bag. Everybody gets a gift bag. This is a really awesome gift bag, and we're going to be putting lots of healing inside of it. And I really wanted this healing circle to be all about the the birthday party, right? Tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm like, let's do a birthday party. Let's just have a blast. And my higher self kept showing me things like, having little kids' birthday parties where we were going to be running around a playground and doing all sorts of stuff. And I was kind of like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And then it's like, no, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. But what we are doing is totally cool, because what we're going to be doing is healing the separation, healing the places where we had things that were said or done, we saw, and we had an idea about it, and it created separation for us. And so that opportunity to heal the places where we had something that happened, we believed it, and it created a place of separation. It created a chasm. And to be able to start to heal that is like a yay for sure, because the more we can heal the places that are separate in us, the more we can heal the places that are separate in other people. We heal it in ourselves, we get to heal it in everyone. So I'm really excited about this. This is really, really awesome. So here's the full the here is the full claim of truth. It's on page 123. It says, "We will say these words now for each of you. The rules are changed. 2 and 2 equals a million. There is not one reflection of identity, but infinite expressions. The only rules that you will abide by are the rules born in truth. And you must become liberated from the old evidence or the old systems that would bind or tether you to the low field." And so then they speak, "On this day we claim that all who hear these words will now be in receipt of a liberation of expression that dissolves the idea of separation." And so when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's what we're going to do. We're going to heal more ideas of separation. And then I was like, it's okay. We don't have to have party and the streamers and all that kind of stuff. Because the more we can heal the separation that each of us has in ourselves, the more we can heal the rest of the field. So I'm so excited. So everybody, take a look at your gift bag. You get to look at your gift bag as what kinds of frequencies are there for your bag. And of course, a gift bag is never a gift bag. A gift bag is a gift unto itself. So you can look at your gift bag and look at the frequency and decide where you want to put it in your body when we are finished with it. But the first thing we're going to do is you've looked at your gift bag. Mine is filled with a lot of wonder and a lot of emergence frequency. I'm like, yes, that's a really awesome thing. If you want to share that, you're welcome to do that. You may have an idea of where you are putting that gift. You may not yet. So 4 disparate parts in you that we're bringing back together. How cool is that? 4 separate parts of you that we're bringing back together tonight. So the first one we're going to look at is something you heard and believed. Something you heard and believed. So that's definitely a space where you may want to check in, because your personality might be like, oh, I remember when so-and-so just recently said this. And it might be that, but it also might be something that goes back farther than that. And so I just was like, as I was talking, I was seeing things that were said when my mom was carrying me, when I was still in utero. And so that's what's getting me very emotional at the moment, because I was like, oh my God, I get to heal that. I get to heal that. So check in with your higher self, check in about what it is that you have heard. Maybe this lifetime, you might have an awareness of another lifetime, but what you have heard that you believed, and it created separation in you. You heard it and it created separation in you. And Ashley, I love that your gift bag has a notebook filled with love letters to you from a bunch of souls that you love. That's so freaking amazing. So freaking awesome. I absolutely love that. And I didn't even think about looking in the gift bag. So let's see. While you all are doing that, let me look in my gift bag. So I look in my gift bag, and my gift bag has a bunch of confetti in the bottom of it. And I was kind of like, why do I have confetti in the bottom of my bag? I mean, that seems like, it's after the party. You go around and collect some pieces of confetti and put it in your bag. But what I'm actually going to be doing is tipping my bag upside down over my head, creating a party all to myself. And all of that confetti, which is energetic in nature, is going into my body. Into my body. So that's a very cool thing. Meanwhile, I hope you all have taken a moment to check in to see about something that was said, something that you heard that you believed, and it created separation in you. And so for me, I was the product of an affair. Probably everybody's heard this story at least once. Um, my mom had an affair. She got pregnant with me, and that's why I don't look anything like my two brothers. I don't look like my dad, who raised me. She was not with the person she had the affair with. She ended up craziness. She ended up staying with the guy that she was married to. So in the course of whatever went on with all of the working that out, somewhere along the way, I heard that like I wasn't loved, I wasn't wanted. There was some piece like that. And so that is the piece that I'm being told is going to be healed tonight. That created separation, made me think that I wasn't loved or I wasn't wanted. And we all hear stuff like that throughout our lives. There's, times somebody gets mad and they say something that they don't really mean, and it's not the case. But we believe it. We take it on like it's ours, and it creates separation. So that's what we're going to heal. Jill, I love that. I was told I was worthless and would never amount to anything. Previous lifetime. Yep. And we act out of that, right? There's a lot of things that we believe are true. We don't know any different. No one has told us, oh, that's not really you. That's not really truth. And so we just keep acting out of it. And what an awesome thing to heal, because of course you are totally amazing. So incredibly awesome, Jill. Worthless is never a word I would ever think to use to describe you. And you are just an amazing, amazing being of light, and an amazing friend, and just a great addition to this community. So awesome thing to heal. And if you would like, you can ask where that is in you. Mine sits in my sternum. And so that's where the healing is going to go. And what you're being gifted is it's an orb filled with music notes. So you are singing a new song. You are singing the song that you want to hear. Jill, that's awesome. Yep. We've been carrying that nonsense around. I mean, just think, something from a previous life, you were carrying it all that time. And if it wasn't the lifetime that you had right before this, you've been carrying it around for eons, right? So it's an awesome thing to heal. An orb filled with music. So you're creating a new song to be heard. Wow. So awesome. Amazing. And of course, always what we do for one, we do for all. So there are a lot of souls that are not present in bodies that are being gifted this as well. It's one of the things that I thought was so cool about the healing circle. And this has been going on. Joan first did the first healing circle, I think, when we were in energetic architecture. So that would have been in like 2017, 2018. So that's how long the healing circles have been happening. And if you attended one with Joan when Joan went online, you know, they were absolutely amazing. And then Nicole had them for a little while. And then I got tapped to do it next. And it's bigger than just whoever is here when we're doing it. Like all of this stuff is going out into the world. And it's one of the things that the guides talk about on page 120 in the Book of Innocence. It says in the middle of the page, when you listen to music, you actually assume that when the song is over, the music has stopped. In fact, the music is present always. Once a note is sung, it is always heard. Those of you who have had the ability to read what you call the past or the future are actually tuning in to the music that still lingers through the idea of time and space. When time and space are reknown and reseen, again, the simple claim, behold, I make all things new. Reality itself, the very fabric of reality that you have known, may be transposed, which simply means sung and expressed in a new high octave where all things are made new. So I can remember, I would imagine this is probably 3 or 4 years ago, that I was sitting with Karen, and somehow we were talking about music, and I was telling her that I heard somewhere that once a note is played, it's forever played. It continues on. And she said, yeah, just imagine this. Robin is sitting at her piano and she's playing a song. And all of those notes go drifting out her window. And the trees, the leaves in the trees pick up those notes. And then they pass those notes on to the trees that are next to them. And then the birds that are sitting in the trees pick those notes up and carry it on to another place, and so on and so on. And so she said, music does absolutely go on and on and on. So how beautiful is it that you now have a new song to sing? Because that is the same thing. It goes on and on and on. You start singing that new song and it's absolutely beautiful. Woohoo! So if you are having a little difficulty finding what that is that you heard and believed, you can certainly pop it in the chat. You can also feel free later to send me a message and say, I was really struggling with that. And I am happy to help you, but we're going to drop a whole lot more wonder, a whole lot more love, a whole lot more inspiration and illumination and magic and trust into the container so you can know that you are safe, you are loved, and you are supported. Mm-hmm. Okay. Second thing, we're going to talk about something you looked at and believed. Something you looked at and believed. So that something could be, you saw an event happening and you thought that that was the truth of what had happened. So there are a lot of times, we're reading a book or we're watching a movie or something, and we know that we know that we know what direction that book or that movie is going in. And then all of a sudden there's a twist or a turn, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was such a surprise. So what we're talking about is something with you that you looked at, not a movie or a book, but there was something that happened in your life that you looked at and you knew exactly what it was. You just like, I got it. I know what it is. And that created separation in you. That created some separation for you. You felt separate from source. You felt separate from other people. You felt separate from yourself. There's a lot of different ways that can show up. But that's what we're looking for. We're going to heal that place where you saw something, believed it to be true. Ashley, wait an image in the mirror as you thought it had something to do. Wow, I have matching pictures there. Something to do with worthiness or unworthiness, as it happens to be. And yes, I'm so glad that you talked about the mirror, because that's exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at distorted mirrors. There's definitely some distorted mirrors that we're going to be moving tonight. I have one in my throat. Enough of that nonsense. And you can ask your higher self where you have a distorted mirror that you'd like to move. I put my team on it. Work on that. Nobody needs to believe something that is nowhere near the truth of them. My, oh my. Absolutely. No one needs that. So while you are looking for that, something that you saw that you would swear it was true, it was true, it was true. You believed it to be true, and it created separation. While you're doing that, I have to tell you that this section of the Book of Innocence really entertains me. If you're somebody who reads Paul Selig's stuff, this one in particular, this few pages really makes me laugh, because Paul interrupts a couple of times here. You know, one time he says, Paul interrupts the teaching. I don't agree with this teaching in the least. If I say 2 + 2 is 4, and the one beside me says 2 + 2 is 6, I am correct. There is nothing to argue, period. Perhaps, Paul, there is a universe where 2 and 2 are 6. Perhaps there is an idea of self that is progressing through an old system and utilizes the old system to confirm a reality that she has been indoctrinated in. I love that. Like, there can be places where what you thought was true is nowhere even close to true. And so he then interrupts again on the next page and says, first of all, I don't like math. So, Paul. Second of all, 2 + 2 is 4. How can it be 1,000? Because they talked about in the previous sentence, in source, 2 + 2 is always 1,000 or 1,000,000, because the math that exists in the upper room does not conform to the math that you have known, which in most ways was born in agreement to systems known in scarcity. How about that? The math that we know was born in a system of scarcity. We have to count it. We have to know this one. Jill, I feel a little stumped on this one, where I saw something and believed it to be true. What's your higher self saying? So, Jill, your higher self is showing me, you're going to understand this one better than I am, but what I'm seeing is where you were in a relationship, and it actually looks like a relationship like if you were married. Like, this was a serious relationship. It wasn't just but something happened that you saw something that you believe to be true. Like the reference that I have is like, it looked like they were cheating on you, and you believed it to be true. It wasn't necessarily true, but it's that belief. Like you were just like, how could you do that? That's a reference point that I'm being given. So I'm sure you're going to understand that better than I do. I'm just giving you the example there where you were in a relationship, you saw something and you believe that to be true. Assume that, like, created the I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not loving enough. I'm not enough. And oh my goodness, that's like a great example of what could be farther from the truth, because all of us here know what an amazing person you are. So yeah, you can take a look at that. So those that are joining us, we are looking at a place where we saw something, right? We saw something and we believed it to be true, and it created separation for us. When we saw it, we believed it was true. Like, we know that we know that we know. I love the example that Ashley put in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, but it's our weight is a great example, right? We look in the mirror and we believe what we see in the mirror. And there are times when we see that in the mirror and we believe it's true. We believe that it is the truth of us, and it's not. It's just it's a distorted mirror. And Jill, I'm glad you got that. So Paul goes on, and he's again interrupting. First of all, I don't like math. Second of all, 2 + 2 is 4. How can it be 1,000? Paul, imagine there is one mirror before you, and you see that one reflection. You are facing reflection in a singular way. Now imagine there's also a mirror behind you, and suddenly you are perceiving infinite reflections, ongoing into infinity. The idea of one mirror containing one reflection must be abandoned when the rules are changed. Now, if you wish to argue that this is an illusion, we will remind you that the manifest world is also an illusion. Everything is in vibration in tone and expression through tone. The idea of a reality that is elastic to thought has begun. So remember, we're still talking about the claim of truth that 2 and 2 equals a million. 2 and 2 equals a million. And there are lots of ways that, 2 mirrors plus 2 mirrors does not equal 4 reflections. It actually equals an infinite number of reflections. So for all of us, when you find that place where you saw something and it created separation in you, you are getting a new mirror, a high frequency mirror that is going to continue to pulse high frequencies. You can ask what frequencies are being pulsed. Holy cow. Crazy, crazy, craziness. I can feel my body going, I'm like, oh my goodness. So ask where your mirror is going. Yeah, my mirror is going right here in my throat. Yes. Yes. If you get stuck, I'm happy to help. Happy to help you get unstuck, because this whole thing about healing the separation that we have is just, I'm so excited about it. I wake up in the morning sometimes and I just lay there and I'm like, why do I feel so separate from myself? Why does my personality feel so separate from my higher self? Feel like I should feel closer. And so this is definitely a wish of mine to heal the separation. Lots of downloads coming in. There's downloads of stars coming in. I love stars. I've been so into stars lately. And of course, if you want to grab some stars and put them in a particular spot in your body, if you would like to gift them to somebody, you can certainly do that as well. And if you didn't know, when we finish here with the healing circle, everything that we do in the healing circle is gifted to the field. So see, it's an opportunity for us to just keep taking it all up, up, up. We are definitely doing a whole lot more than just sitting and talking. All right. Guys, ready? Third one. There was a time that you felt something. Now, for those of you that are really clairsentient, you're going to be like, and this time, and this time, and this time, and this time. And you believed it to be true. You felt something and you believed it to be true, and it created separation for you. So for me, my higher self is zooming me back. It's like I'm looking at a timeline. It's like back to a time when I felt a very deep, deep wound, a very deep pain, and it was like I was cut off from my information, cut off from source, cut off from everything that I knew, and I believed that to be true. Now, as I'm talking to you, I'm like spitting through, asking like for more information, and all I get is that that was a wound that I definitely want to heal more of. I don't think we're going to get it all tonight, but it is a wound for me. And when I ask, everybody has one of those kinds of wounds. There is a place where you felt a big, big wound, and you believed it to be true. It created separation from you, from source, you from your higher self, you from all the support, all the love. It almost feels like when you're born, like, being born and suddenly you have access to all your information and then you don't. I'm not sure that that's it, but if you come up with another one, you are going to get two for the price of one, because we are definitely going to be healing that wound. Some of you have are showing me something in your sacrum. So whoever that might be, I'm happy to help you with that. Ooh, that one's not fun. Not that any of them are fun, but holy cow. That wound of separation. Probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks, probably at least. Brandy says it's hers. All right. Happy to help you with that one. Probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I have been seeing this big black hole in my sternum. Now, I am sure that black hole has been in my sternum for a whole lot longer than the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's just something that I became aware of. And every time I look at it, I just feel like I could throw infinite amount of light and gifts and things um, i- into that black hole, and that black hole is still going to be there. And so it's not always going to be there. I'm very clear it's not, but there are times I'm just like, oh my God, let's put some more gifts, put some more gifts, put some more gifts. It feels like it's endless, but it's not. So, wow, Brandy, I'm happy to help you with that. Holy cow, who needs that in your sacrum? Something that you felt. And when it happened, you believed it, and it created separation. The big one is the separation from ourselves, right? We believe that we are separate, that, our higher self is off doing lofty higher self things, and we're just stuck down here suffering on the planet. And that is never true. Our higher self has always got our back, always paying attention. We are our higher self. There is no separation. So, a very good thing to heal. And this gift makes me laugh because this gift is a feather. Like, it's very cool. You could take a look at what color your feather is or where you want to put your feather. It's just very interesting to me because, music note and a mirror, those feel like very alchemical gifts. A feather, I know, it's an alchemical gift. It's a beautiful crystalline gift. Just feels a little different. All right. Here's another quote of Paul's. I'm telling you, man, he just really makes me laugh here. On page 120, he says, he interrupts the teaching. You began talking about self-righteousness. How is this still a teaching on that? The idea that he just like talks to Melchizedek like that, it just makes me laugh. He's just got this whole tone with them, like, and they go on to say, every opinion that you hold is indoctrinated through an idea of self, born in limitation, and holds limitation within it. So not only is it, not only does it have limitation in it, like our ideas, like 2 + 2 = 4. That already has a limiting factor. It can only be 4. It can't be anything else. There's only one answer. But that it was born in limitation, and it keeps us limiting ourselves, as opposed to, well, what if it wasn't? Suddenly, like, well, what if there was another answer? And when you talk to somebody who has that very logical, scientific, mathematical brain, they're like, oh no, there's nothing else but that. But that is the very thing that we are talking about, making everything new and expanding our ideas, opening up the possibility that there is so much more available to us. And so we just go, oh, yeah, there you go. Bigger, bigger. Yes, even bigger. Yes, even bigger. I don't want something that's just this big. I want to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because that's how we change the world. Okay. All right. What do we have? Everybody can, I see lots of lightning bolts, lots of power coming in. Power, power, power. It's awesome. You can grab a lightning bolt, put it where you would like as a gift. I'm going to put mine back here in my brainstem. And of course, because I can, I'm going to put another one in my third eye. No limits. This one is huge for me because I've spent a lot of time going, well, we were told we could only take one. I mean, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to take more than I'm supposed to. And I don't want to break the rules. I don't want to get in trouble. So we're just going to keep healing all of that. That's an awesome thing to heal. Okay, and I did say to you guys that all these gifts are going to be worked to transform a lot more separation. And we have an agreement to scarcity is going to be transformed tonight as well. That one's really cool. That one's really cool. Okay. Are we good? Hey, did you know we have a new moon this week? Y'all ready for that? We have a new moon on Friday afternoon. How awesome is that? A new moon. We have a new moon, and I wanted to let you all know that the book club that's been talking about the Book of Knowing and Worth, next Tuesday, the 13th, Elaine is going to be hosting a chat about the parts that you all have been reading. She did a book club chat last month, and it was amazing. I was so excited to see her do that. And so what I love about it is that it's an opportunity just to be in community, right? To hang out. Everybody turns on their cameras, and we talk about kind of what we're going through in our lives, how the book is relating to it. And there's always lots of healing. So I did want to let you all know that next Tuesday night, and you just pop over to the calendar and RSVP, and then you get a little email and lets you know that it is coming up, so you can jump on. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Elaine, for doing all that. Okay, we're good? Woohoo. All right. The fourth one. How about this one? The fourth one is something that you thought. Something that you thought. And you believed it, and it created separation. It's just it was a thought you had. You're walking down the street and suddenly it's like, boom, oh, I had a thought. And it created separation for you. It created separation, made you think that you were separate, that you weren't part of the one love, that you weren't part of source, that you weren't supported by your higher self. There's a lot of these that are like when I was young. It's really making me laugh. I feel like I am like 3 or 4 years old, because I feel when my higher self is showing it to me, I feel like I'm looking up at my mom, and that it is another time period, and I'm holding her hand, and there's something that happens. It's just like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I am me and she is her, and we are separate. And it was like a bing, and created separation. Created a lot of anxiety too. I feel like I just kind of stopped in the middle of the sidewalk or the path and started crying, like, and I can imagine if my kids did that for me that I would have been like, oh my God, what happened? Did you get stung by a bee? Did you, step on something? What happened? Because of course it's got to be something that happened to you to create that kind of trauma. When in fact, it was just something that you thought that created separation. And you've been housing that somewhere in your body. Feel free to ask where that is. Somewhere where there is separation from a thought you had. You're just walking along and suddenly you have a thought. And I have said this a couple of times. It does not have to be this lifetime. It does not have to be something that happened, a few weeks ago or a few months ago. More than likely, it is something that happened to you when you were young, in this lifetime, in another lifetime, and you've been holding on to it for a really long, long time. And we're healing it tonight. Because, of course, that separation is something that is, keeping us from knowing that we're always loved, supported, and protected, keeping us from knowing that we are all connected, right? When I work on myself, I'm also working on each and every one of you every single time I go and do that. So the more we can heal that, the better it is. Now, the gift that you all are going to be getting is either a new lens or glasses. And let me read the piece from the Book of Innocence, page 122. We say here intentionally because we are teaching you in the upper room. It is where we move to from a higher field for this instruction. And any aspect of you that already abides here is welcoming the aspects of self that would deny the truth, seek to maintain a lie about self or who another should be, based in a false premise known through separation. They welcome it all. Here we are in the upper room. They're welcoming the part of you that knows the truth, and every part of you that believes that you are separate. All of it's welcome. Understand, we said through separation. When you have a lens in a camera, the lens claims what is seen. When the focus of the lens is changed, what is seen is other. When the lens of separation is not present, when the filter is gone, what is expressed is everything that exists beyond it. So when you have a lens of separation, you saw something that made you feel separate, when you remove that lens, suddenly you see everything else, right? Just like if we narrowed a lens down to be really tiny, really specific, all you can see is what it is pointing at. But the minute that we move that filter and you can see all of it, you can see it all in truth. So you are all getting a new lens. Wow. All getting a new lens. One that does not have the fear in it. One that does not have the pain, the anger, the unworthiness. My lens of separation is in my third eye. A lot of you have it in your third eye. So we're just going to keep cleaning that up before we put in that new lens. Yeah, can we have some more emergence, some more reconciliation? Let's put that right in there. Reconciliation is that awesome frequency that lets you bypass all the karma and all the teachings to get right to the healing. It's like the fast pass, the easy pass. Is it fast pass they call it at Disney? God, I can't believe I actually said that like I don't know. It's a fast pass. So we're putting more of that in everybody's third eye. Wrapping it in more love and more wonder. Some manifestation. How about that? Give us some more manifestation. Excellent. How are you all doing? Everybody good? Awesome. Okay. Are we ready? Okay, just a minute. Okay. While we're still working on the third eyes, I mean, multiple third eyes, one in each person, not like everybody has more than one third eye. Everybody grab a party hat. It's very funny when I was like going to say something else and party hat comes out of my mouth. So you grab a party hat. It's definitely something to celebrate. My party hat looks like Peter Pan's hat. You all know Peter Pan has that like green hat, kind of sort of triangular. There's a feather in it. And mine has a chin strap. I don't know why. Has a chin strap. I think it has a chin strap because it comes down and helps with all this underneath here too. But yeah. Awesome. There's jewelry available. There are like I was looking at bracelets and necklaces and earrings. If you would like to gather those, it is available. I love this. Crystalline, awesome. I'm actually taking those earrings and I want to put them right behind my ears because wow, this area right here, there's a lot of channels, a lot of crystal boxes here. A lot of this is about clairsentience. So I'm putting more gifts in there while we're still working on your third eyes. Excellent. Lot it all. So tonight you have gotten orb with music notes with a new song to sing in it. You have gotten an upgraded mirror that is busy pulsing some awesome high frequencies and helping you transform those ideas that you looked at that made you think you were separate. You have gotten a feather, crystalline feather, and you can certainly look at what color that is and where you put that. And that is helping you transform when you felt something and thought that that was your truth. And then this last one was when you thought something and it created separation for you. And so everybody's getting a new lens. Some of you are like, I want glasses. Yes, you can have glasses. A new lens to see yourself through. Reminding ourselves that the rules have changed, that 2 plus 2 equals a million. And the more that we just keep becoming liberated from the old ideas, from the old evidence, is what they say, from the old systems, that they want to keep binding us to the lower fields. They want us to keep thinking in separation. And the more we can heal those places where we are separate, where we feel separate from ourselves, when we feel separate from each other, when we feel separate from source, when we feel separate from even things like crystals and trees and animals and all of that too. That is all part of the one love. And so we just keep healing that, healing that, healing that. And then when we know true freedom, true liberation. So once again, Melchizedek says, on this day, we claim that all who hear these words will now be in receipt of a liberation of expression that dissolves the idea of separation. So you guys have all received these amazing gifts. And of course, if you want to go back and watch this recording again, it is recorded and you all can go back and watch it over and over again. You can always ask for more gifts. You can always heal more of the places of separation. It is not like you do it once and that's all there is. Well, oh, I joined, 15 minutes late, so I didn't get the first 15 minutes. No, it doesn't work like that. Absolutely doesn't work like that. You get it all. It's available to you in its entirety, over and over and over again. So everybody has a gift bag. If you take a look at your gift bag, we looked inside and saw what it was. When we started the healing circle. If you look inside your gift bag now, it is so much more. What I'm seeing is it just filled with like a serious party in a bag. Like I opened the bag again, and what I had in it at the beginning was it was just filled with confetti on the bottom. And I was kind of like, okay, what is this? Now, when I open it up and look at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's so much more than that. It is literally like a party in a bag. Balloons and streamers and all sorts of stuff, because it's a big celebration for who you are, for what you are, how you serve, the things that you are doing in the world, the things that you are healing, that you are transforming. And so it's just a big party in a bag. You can take that bag, put it where you would most like to put it. Mine is definitely going into my sternum. Mine's going in my sternum up through my throat. Move more of that fear that shows up and the things that keep wanting to pull me back to those old ideas, those old systems, those old ways of doing things. There's a whole new way of doing things, that the world is more elastic than we could have ever imagined. It's available for each and every one of us. So, yes, yes. An agreement to scarcity is being transformed for everybody. We took everybody's body up enough in frequency. And this agreement to scarcity doesn't necessarily have to look like scarcity in the terms of money. It can be scarcity in terms of love, in terms of knowledge, of education, of ability in some way, of a skill set, like scarcity. And the example my higher self is giving me is like about running. Like, I'm like, the last thing I want to do in the world is run. And so I'm like, I'm just not athletic. That's just not my jam. And so I'm seeing where like that idea of scarcity is being transformed. So it's a big celebration for all of us. You can certainly ask what your scarcity idea is, and that is definitely being transformed even more. Totally awesome. I think it's fabulous. And of course, what we do for one, we do for all. So there's a lot of souls that are here in the healing circle container that are getting the same gifts, getting all of the healing as well. I always appreciate that each and every one of you show up, because when you show up, you bring all your friends, you bring all the souls that want to have the healings as well. So it's never just whoever shows up in a body. It is always so much more. So I'm going to seal the field unto the light of that one true source, creator, God. And I am going to thank Source, of course, as well as my healing team and the support teams, and each and every one of you who just continue to be the light, continue to shine brightly, going out and being out there in the world, even on the days when you're like, oh no, I don't think it. I don't think I got it. I don't think I understand. I'm not sure that I'm the light. I think my light's a little dim. For you all who sit and do all of it, do all of the work, and continue to shine brightly, whether you know it or not. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm so excited for this. I wish you all a very happy new moon. Happy Valentine's Day. That'll be coming up next week. And I will see you back here in 2 weeks for, what is that? I think it's the 19th, for another amazing round of healing. Not only us and others, but also the field. Hope you have a great evening. Mwah. With that, we say amen and aho.